Hello and welcome to Wimmer. My name is Curtis. I'm the Human Resource Generalist here. And today we're going to be going over the company history, ADP, which is our payroll system, the company handbook, and Grace Hill, which is our property management training software. Starting with the company history, in the late 1800s, Matthew Marks left his village in Germany, where he was a barrel maker for the King's Brew House. He was chasing the American dream and ended up in a small township of New Berlin, Wisconsin, and started building barns for the farmers in the surrounding area. As a testament to his skill, the hay baler on West Greenfield Avenue, still standing today, is an original Wimmer building. As his business grew, so did his family, to ultimately 10 children. 3 of his boys, Nick, Frank, and John, expanded the business to include homes and church construction, which went westward all the way through Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa. As the need for pews and altars grew, the brothers opened a mill workshop under the name Marks Bros Company General Contractors, which operated near the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. Of his 3 boys, Nick Marks' daughter Florence met a young man named John X. Wimmer. It didn't take long before wedding chivalry soon marched up Mitchell Street. John X. Wimmer, shown here with his son Jerome, soon began harvesting wood throughout eastern Wisconsin, supplying not only his father-in-law's business, but also fine Nordic furniture makers. Railroads were also a good customer, as well as the new Milwaukee Zoo. But it was the land that he cleared and subdivided into lots that became his legacy. Ravenswood and Wauwatosa is a great example of this. When Jerome returned from a tour in the Navy, he saw an opportunity to construct housing for returning GIs and soon built thousands of homes on his father's land in Wisconsin. As his expertise grew, so did the scope of his projects, including condos in the Sanibel Islands in Florida, apartments, and senior housing. Unfortunately, Jerome passed away suddenly in 1976, which resulted in his eldest son Mark overseeing the company at age 21. He was soon joined by brother John, and they've grown Wimmer Communities into one of Milwaukee's largest property owners, with apartments, retirement communities, retail centers, and a hotel. Mark Wimmer is on the left side of the picture, and John Wimmer is on the right side. Switching gears a little bit, ADP is our payroll system as well as our HR system. We wanted to make it as self-service to our employees as possible. So at any time you can go in there and change your direct deposit, your W-4s, beneficiaries, benefit elections, and you can also request your time off. Here's an example of what our homepage looks like. We will always have some sort of company event or company news out there. That way it's nice and easy for you to stay in tune on what's happening at Wimmer. Our resource center within ADP always has our company policies, which we will sign off on a few of them today. All of the benefit information we have is out there, as well as any forms you may need to perform your job well. Now, starting with the general policy of the handbook, we are an equal opportunity employer. Wimmer Communities provides equal employment opportunities to all employees and applicants for employment without regard to race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, or genetics. In addition to federal laws, we also comply with applicable state and local laws. This policy applies to all terms and conditions of employment, including recruiting, hiring, placement, promotion, termination, layoff, recall, transfer, leaves of absence, compensation, and training. Being in the housing industry, we do have to abide by fair housing laws, which means we can't discriminate against race, national origin, color, religion, gender, family status, and disability. The state of Wisconsin also takes it a step further and adds those other areas where we can't discriminate down below. The Americans with Disability Act. Wimmer Communities offers equal employment opportunities for qualified individuals who may have a physical or mental disability but can still perform the essential functions of the job. This may require reasonable accommodation if the accommodation does not provide an undue hardship on the organization. Family medical leave. State and/or federal leave that allows employees to take a leave of absence for the employee's own serious health condition, to care for a spouse, parent, or child with a serious health condition, birth of a child or placement of a child for adoption or foster care, and finally, to care for a covered service member who is recovering from a serious illness or injury sustained in the line of duty. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to contact HR. Personal leave of absence. Any employee that does not qualify for FMLA and has a compelling personal reason may be granted 3 to 30 days of personal leave. Approval is at the sole discretion of Mark and John Wimmer. Code of Business Ethics. Always comply with all applicable government laws and regulations in the performance of their jobs. All records must be recorded accurately in compliance with all legal requirements and generally accepted accounting principles where applicable. Anti-harassment. Harassment in the workplace based on a person's race, sex, religion, national origin, age, height, weight, marital status, or disability will not be tolerated. Sexual harassment of any kind will not be tolerated either. If you or someone you work with is being harassed, make sure you let Human Resources know immediately. Non-fraternization policy. Employees are prohibited from having personal relationships with clients or any person who lives or works in a property managed by the company. An employee may not engage in a personal relationship with another employee who is his or her subordinate or supervisor. If a personal relationship does develop, please contact Human Resources for further direction. Conflict of interest. No employees may accept cash or non-cash, non-edible gifts or loans from residents, families, and friends. No employee may have any substantial financial interest in any vendor or supplier that offers goods or services of a kind that the employee may be responsible for selecting or recommending. No employee may use inside information gained as a result of his or her position and not generally available to the public for personal gain. Disciplinary action. Rule infractions may warrant a 3-step process. First would be a verbal warning, second written, and third would be suspension pending discharge. Wimmer Communities reserves the right to skip or repeat any of the above steps. We view disciplinary actions as a means of correcting a problem with a great solution in mind to help us succeed. It also keeps you informed on your standing within the organization. Complaint resolution. Employees who have a problem, complaint, question, etc. are encouraged to discuss it freely with their immediate supervisor. After the immediate supervisor, the employee should contact the next chain of command in this order: the regional manager, human resources, and then the VP of property management. Employment. Employment status: if you're full-time, you will be working over 32 hours per week. Part-time, 20 to 32 hours. And then part-time, less than 20 hours is going to equal no benefits. Most work schedules are from 8 to 5, but talk to your immediate supervisor just to make sure you have the correct schedule. Breaks: you will get an hour lunch, unpaid, and then we get 2 15-minute breaks. Make sure you stagger the breaks so you're not taking a 15-minute break, an hour lunch, and then another 15-minute break. Compensation: we are on a bi-weekly payroll. Pay dates are every other Friday, and then the pay periods actually start on a Monday and end on the following Sunday. Overtime is paid for hours worked in excess of 40 hours in a work week. Travel and expenses. Employees are reimbursed for specific travel and other expenses when appropriate. Travel for business must be approved in advance. Holidays: we do have 7.5 holidays. We do have New Year's Day, half day for Good Friday, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving, and Christmas Day. All full-time employees are eligible for holiday pay. Also, worked hours during the holiday are paid at time and a half. We all need that vacation, so our PTO policy is a little bit different than what's out there. Instead of having separate buckets, vacation, sick, and personal, we lumped it all into one bucket called PTO, of which you do accrue per hour worked. Down below, you will see our list of how many hours you would get per year according to your years of service. You are also able to carry over 60 hours per year. Anyone that works more than 24 hours per week qualifies for this benefit. Unfortunately, bereavement does happen, so in the event of a death of a full-time employee's immediate family, up to 3 days may be paid if taken for the purpose of preparation or for attending a funeral on a regularly scheduled workday. For the purposes of the policy, the immediate family consists of a spouse, child, stepchild, or grandchild, parents, step-parents, in-laws, brothers, sisters, also the in-laws for that, and then grandparents and in-laws. Jury duty. Full and part-time employees who are required to serve on a jury will receive their regular rate of pay, less any fees paid by the court. It's the employee's responsibility to submit proof. Also, employees serving jury duty will be required to report promptly for work during any day in which services as a juror do not require presence in court. For those who are full-time and qualify, benefits begin first of the month following 60 days. This would include health, dental, vision, 401k, life insurance, and short-term disability. The 401k has a current match of 50% up to 6%, and those working more than 20 hours per week qualify for this benefit. Life insurance is paid by Wimmer Communities. Short-term disability is an optional benefit. If you'd like to pursue that, we can get rates customized by your age. Training and promotional opportunities. We do have a tuition reimbursement plan, which is going to be approved basically for courses that are job-related. Performance evals after 90 days and on an annual basis. So after the first 90 days, your supervisor will sit down with you and let you know how you're doing. Vice versa, let us know how we're doing. Any ways that we can help make you more successful with us. We also have training through Grace Hill and other miscellaneous trainings. Every year we do come up with a Grace Hill training calendar, as well as your new hire calendar, which you'll see. As always, safety comes first. Always use personal protective equipment. All injuries must be reported by the end of your shift. And then in terms of crisis management, we do have just under 30 properties in our portfolio. So speak with your supervisor about the best way to handle these situations. Safety initiatives. Maintenance techs are offered a safety bonus, to help the properties make sure their maintenance techs are being safe. Once a quarter, if their maintenance tech doesn't get hurt, they're entered in for a drawing for a lunch paid by corporate. Who doesn't like free pizza? Work rules, attendance, report an absence 2 hours prior to your shift or request time off as soon as possible. Any no-call, no-show can and will result in voluntary resignation. We will be sure to call you, your emergency contact. We just want to make sure you're okay. We are adults. If you just happen to not want to work here, please just let us know. There's no smoking on the premises. If you do smoke, you must leave the premises to do so. We do require professional attire. See handbook for list. Obviously, a maintenance tech will not wear a shirt and tie to work, so they will also have a separate list. Employees who receive work uniforms are required to keep them neat and clean and must be returned upon termination of employment. Termination of employment, unfortunate, but it does happen. 2-week notice would be requested, property would be returned, any PTO accrued would be paid out, and then your benefits would end at the end of the month. Communication policy, email, voicemail, or other information systems are not to be used in any way that may be illegal, disruptive, or offensive to others. Employees are not allowed to install software on Wimmer computers. They must also have passwords that are secure, and just know that corporate IT has access and may view everything. Wellness initiatives here at Wimmer, we're trying to make Wimmer a better place, not only physically but mentally as well. We've done walking challenges in the past, and we've also done 25-week challenges. For instance, 1 week you'll be challenged to eat a cup of fruit every day or 64 ounces of water. We also, take wellness in terms of mental and financial wellness. So we'll ask you to maybe raise your 401k a little bit, check your pay stub, just a way to get your whole life better. The Fun Committee. So once a year, 10 to 12 of the Wimmer employees will get together, and you're on the Fun Committee for a whole year. We are responsible for the quarterly lunches. So Mark and John want us to get together every quarter. They buy us lunch, and we kind of just talk to people who we haven't seen in a while or meet new friends. We've also done events in the past, such as a chili cook-off and pumpkin carving, which are also a good time. Not sure if you're a basketball fan or not, but March Madness, we do a company-wide pool through yahoo.com. And it's basically a winner-take-all bracket. So first place will get 8 hours of paid time off. Second place gets 4 hours of paid time off. And third place gets a $25 gift card. Concerts in the Garden is an event that happens at the Botanical Gardens every Thursday during the summer, which Wimmer Community sponsors. This is a great event if you want to bring the family, get some free live music, and you can also walk around the gardens. The Wimmer Holiday Party is always at the Wisconsin Club. It's a great night of dinner, dancing, and great time with your fellow team members. Employee recognitions above and beyond. Anytime someone sees you going above and beyond your job description, they can nominate you to the Human Resource Department, and you get nominated in once a month for a $25 gift card. Finally, Grace Hill. This is our computer training software, and this is also for new hires and current employees. What we wanted to do is standardize some of the training. We understand that properties are different a little bit, and to keep it consistent with all the new hires, this computer training software is a great way to do so. We have registration instructions that will be included with your new hire bag, and we can also help with any questions after that. Classes for every new hire, which are determined by the day. So down below you will see a similar handout in your packet. Day 1, being a team player, would be due. Day 2, business ethics would be due. This is a way to space out all the training so you don't have burnout. A lot of us don't like to learn with the computer, but like I said, it keeps it consistent, and will answer any questions that maybe your trainer forgot about. Well, thank you for your time. I definitely appreciate it. If you have any questions about the topics we spoke about in this PowerPoint, feel free to call Human Resources at 414-254-8116, or you can email us at hr@wimmerbrothers.com. Thanks.